In only a few years, money in Africa changed faster than anyone thought.
Safaricom, fortunately, if they could trial it here in Kenya. And we agreed, and a big committee was set up with the banks and the microfinance industry and lots of other people, and we did a trial in 2006.
A driver, a farmer, even a student can now send or save money with just a phone. No banks, no long lines. What looks simple is shaking big powers from New York to London. A quiet act in a small market is now rewriting the story of global finance. It began quietly, almost.
The reason we have a discussion about M-Pesa in the classroom is that M-Pesa is an amazing innovation. It's the first innovation in money transfer in the world. We were really pleased to have Ms. Esther Waititu with us. We started
Unnoticed. A young woman in Lagos pressed her finger against her phone screen, sending money to her grandmother in a faraway village. No lines, no papers, no long wait. Just a tap, and the funds were there. What looked like a simple act carried something far larger.
Startups have participated since we launched the program in about 2015, and they raised together $48 billion worth of investment. So the momentum is here, sure. And the vibrancy is here. What, the fintechs are facing, because that was part of your question in terms of challenge to move even faster, is number one, access to capital. Yeah, they still are facing.
In that instant, she had joined a financial wave powerful enough to unsettle banks from New York to London. What many see as progress hides deeper forces that few dare to discuss. Across Africa, a transformation is underway. It is not only changing how people buy, sell, and save, but also how power moves in the global economy. This is not about bank branches or credit cards. It is about technology that fits into the hand of anyone with a phone. It is about people who were once locked out of finance, now being written into the story. The numbers tell a striking tale. In 2023, African fintech companies raised more than $3 billion in funding. That sum is larger than the annual economic output of some small nations.
To Nigeria, we've had a lot of innovations that have come up in that place. Even though there are a lot of, still, when you're trying to do such thing, there's still a lot of policies. I know you understand what I mean.
And behind every dollar lies a person entering the financial world for the first time. A farmer accessing credit. A driver saving his earnings. A student paying school fees without ever stepping into a bank. One company at the center of this surge is Flutterwave, born in Nigeria. Today, it processes payments in more than 30 African countries and beyond. Its value stands at over $3 billion, placing it among the rare class of global unicorns, startups worth billions. Alongside it are names like InterSwitch, JumiaPay, and OPay, all growing at remarkable speed. This growth is not just about profit, it represents a continental leap over traditional banking. While much of the world depended on brick-and-mortar banks, Africa faced long distances, high fees, and strict requirements. Many people simply could not enter the system. But when banking turned digital, millions who had been shut out suddenly found the door open. Take the case of Tayo, once a taxi driver in Accra, Ghana. For years, he had no bank account. The nearest branch was more than 50 kilometers away, and he lacked the documents to qualify. To financial institutions, he was seen as a risk.
Officer
But fintech companies saw
a payment
potential.
solutions business
Today,
with a vision
Tayo runs
to
3
empower
businesses,
small
collects
businesses in
payments
South
through mobile
Africa
apps,
by
saves
providing
money
them with
online,
affordable
and even
and
lends to
accessible
fellow
points of
drivers.
sale systems.
His story is
And
repeated by
Kayuri
millions.
Chiba from
Africa's path
Citi's
to fintech
African
leadership
Digital
was
FX
not
Solutions
accidental.
team.
It was
His
shaped by
aim
years
is
of
to
exclusion.
support.
When doors closed, people built their own. 3 key innovations made this possible. The first was mobile money. In 2007, Kenya launched M-Pesa, allowing people to send and receive funds through simple text messages. It was more than a service. It became an ecosystem. Kenya now records more mobile money transactions per person than anywhere else in the world. Services like MTN Mobile Money in Cameroon soon followed. The second was agent banking. Instead of traveling long distances to a bank, people could access financial services through local shops or even motorcycle taxi riders acting as agents. Suddenly, every corner store could become a branch. The third was data-driven credit scoring. Traditional banks required long credit histories, something most Africans lacked. Fintech companies used new methods. They looked at phone usage, airtime purchases, and even weather data to decide creditworthiness. A farmer in Rwanda could access a loan based on mobile transactions. A student in Nigeria could qualify by showing consistent airtime top-ups. These tools made finance possible where it had never existed before. But success also brought shadows. Outages in 2022 left millions without access to their money for days. Some could not buy food because apps went offline. When one company controls wages, savings, and credit for millions, any failure has heavy cost. The issue of data also raises concern. These companies collect more information on African spending habits than ever before. They know locations, contacts, and daily routines. This data has value. Increasingly, it is being sold to buyers outside the continent. Some argue that such power is necessary. Strong companies may be the only way for Africa to compete with global giants. But the question remains, can fintech firms keep people first while entering the world's financial big leagues? The stakes are global. Africa is not only building startups, it is creating a parallel financial system. This system threatens to shift control away from long-dominant Western institutions. Consider remittances. Members of the African diaspora send about $95 billion home each year. Traditionally, this flowed through companies like Western Union or MoneyGram with high fees. Now, African fintech platforms offer faster and cheaper transfers. This redirects billions in revenue from New York and London to Lagos and Nairobi. The implications extend further. As African nations trade with one another using local payment systems instead of international channels like SWIFT, global financial balance may change. China recognized this early. Chinese investors were among the first to put money into African fintech, gaining both profit and influence. This raises another concern. Is Africa trading Western dependence for digital reliance on China? The answer may lie in the choices made in the next 5 years. For the African diaspora, the revolution offers both opportunities and responsibilities. Investment is not limited to money. Skills, networks, and knowledge can strengthen local companies solving specific problems. The real potential lies not just in billion-dollar unicorns, but in smaller ventures serving unique needs. Platforms for farmers in Ethiopia, services for refugees, or lending tools for women entrepreneurs in Senegal. As companies like Flutterwave expand into the United States and Europe, the ripple effect grows. Nigerian firms are buying American startups. African systems are handling payments in global markets. The reach is no longer limited to the continent. Yet the deeper meaning is not about transactions, it is about independence. For 1.4 billion people, fintech is creating ways to save, borrow, and grow without waiting for permission from traditional banks. It is creating unity across nations once separated by financial barriers. Like the African proverb says, when spider webs unite, they can tie up a lion. Still, the future is uncertain. Will fintech bring freedom or new chains? Will the continent control its data or see it sold abroad? Will strong digital champions protect the people or place profit first? What is clear is that the world can no longer look away. While Wall Street debates and Silicon Valley builds apps, Africa is writing a new chapter in global finance. It is not happening in boardrooms, but in the hands of everyday people tapping phones in markets, taxis, and farms. The revolution is already here. The question is how far it will go, and who will hold the power when it arrives. Africa's financial revolution is changing the world. What do you think? Freedom or new chains? Share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe for more global insights.